Hey Scorpio, welcome to your weekly forecast for December 23rd through the 29th. We're coming to the end of the month. We're going to see what's happening with our Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer playing card deck. And then we're going to pull a money manifestation affirmation for you from that deck there. Let's see what's happening for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising in the week ahead. What is going on for our darlings? For Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Alright, here is your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, my dears, we have 4 of diamonds. Now, this is going to be really interesting. Last week, you guys started off with like really vibrant energy, like just like really kind of go for it, like goal setting kind of energy. And 4 of diamonds or 4 of pentacles is going to be an energy where things are a little bit more cautious, a little bit more just kind of like, you know, refraining, holding back. So this is going to happen in a couple of ways for different ones of you. These are general readings. The energies are going to impact you in different ways. For some of you, what's going to happen is you really had this really high last week, and now the negative ego is coming in, and you might be a little bit worried or cautious, like, wow, I set some really big goals, I had some really big dreams. Can I really do it? Can I really, oh man, like what if I bit off more than I could chew, or how am I going to come up with the money for all of this? Or you might start having doubts or fears. Okay, try to come out of that fear-based thinking. All right, and try to understand and realize that which you need will come to you. It's like Ralph Waldo Emerson said, once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. You just have to be firm in that resolve. You have to be firm in that decision. Okay, for other ones of you, the 4 of diamonds or 4 of pentacles could be that you're being a little bit guarded. Like, you know what your goals are, you know what your dreams are, you know that you're working towards really big things. So you may be protecting your energy. Like, you may be just kind of keeping to yourself, and there's maybe certain people that you're not wanting their energy to come in and interfere with you, or maybe you're an empath and you're very sensitive to energies, and for that reason you're just really being very guarded, and you're being very cautious who you're letting in, who you're spending time with, whose phone calls you're taking, whose texts you're answering. So you might be having your walls up in like just a protective kind of way, not a fear-based way, but in a way where you're trying to protect your dreams, your visions, things like this. We also felt or sensed that at the end of last week, somebody might see that you're doing well, or they might feel like, things are picking up for you, and they might be making drama for you. So for some of you, a part of that drama could have been financial. Okay. And so maybe in the beginning of this week, you're being, kind of very cautious who you're being generous towards. Maybe you're keeping your money like a tighter hold on your money, right? Especially for those of you Scorpios that you're coming out of a really long-lasting dry spell. Like maybe for a while things were very tough for you. They're starting to turn around again. Some of you had a really high point financially some years ago, and you made some decisions and you did some things in a way where you felt like, man, like if I ever had that money again, I would be so careful. I've learned my lesson. Well, now you're having that chance. That money's coming in, and you did learn your lesson, and you are being more careful. You're like, I'm not going to be everybody's ATM. I'm going to be careful how I'm spending my money. So some of you might just be making smarter decisions with your money, and you might be more, careful about who you're being generous with, or how much you're giving to other people. I do feel for some of you, you're protecting your finances in some way. Your Wednesday, Thursday card, my darlings, is 10 of spades. Yowza. So I think a lot of you are having an issue with somebody who's coming in, and you just kind of feel like they're feeding off of you, like or they want to feed off of you, and you're like, look, there's no meal time here for you, my friend. 10 of spades is going to be what we know in tarot as 10 of swords. And 10 of swords is a card that freaks a lot of people out. And those of you that you watch my readings, you will have already heard me say this before. In my experience over the years reading cards, anytime I have pulled 10 of swords for myself or 10 of swords for one of my regular clients, like back in the day, you know, when I had fewer clients and I could track, I could remember the readings. I love reading for everybody, but I can't remember all the readings. But I could see what's happening, because a lot of my people do come back to me. I get to read for them again. So I would see that when 10 of Swords came up for them, by the next reading, really amazing things had happened. So even though 10 of Swords can indicate the ending of something, and it can be bittersweet, it's because something that was blocking you, you're the one putting an end to it. That's another thing too. Whoever I pull the card for, in this case it's you guys, you are the one making the decision to end something. And always, it's something toxic, or it's some cycle that keeps repeating itself. And you're like, nope, I'm not interested anymore. I don't want this anymore. And I do feel some of you are having to draw a boundary with someone that you feel kind of like you feel bad for them, like you feel compassionate for them, but at the same time you realize that the dynamic is really unhealthy. And I do feel for many of you it will have to do about money. It will have to do about finances. Okay? Where you're really just telling this person, look, I can't help you. I'm not gonna help you. The same way that I had to struggle and do this by myself, you know, you're going to have to do it the same way, right? Like I don't have what you think I have. I can't give you what you think I can give you. And I do feel for some of you, it will be over finances. For other ones of you, you're getting a really firm hold on some kind of negative coping mechanism or self-medicating that you were doing. Some of you are finding that as you're protecting your energy and you're staying away from certain people, or you're keeping your circle much tighter, and you're keeping focused on what you want to do, you're finding that you don't have the same cravings that you used to have. You're not wanting to go and do like retail therapy and go charge up all your credit cards. You're not wanting to like sit there and binge on sugar and fast food and goodies and treats. You're not wanting to reach for the bottle and have a drink, or you're not wanting to, you know, roll up and smoke, or whatever it might be. Like you're finding that you don't need the same like coping mechanisms. Like your stress is reduced, and you're having a better handle on those things, on those toxic behaviors or numbing behaviors. So in that way, some of you are really kicking some addictive habit this week. Okay, your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is lots of swords. You guys are Scorpio. Like, you are not letting your feelings get the best of you this week. You are all logic, and I love it. Because Scorpios can have very, very intense emotions, right? And they can get the better of us. They absolutely can from time to time. But you're firm. Like, you're just like, nope. Like, you're focused. You have your mission. You have your goals. You are staying in your logic. So I do want to say something, though, with the Two of Spades or Two of Swords. It is a warning card for me. I feel that for some of you, this 10 of Swords, it's coming up midweek because it's what you know you have to do. It's what you know you have to do. Whether or not you actually do it, it's up to you, Scorpio. This is a general reading. Some of you are going to do it. Some of you are going to say, oh, I know I should, but I can't, or I feel bad. And for those of you who are saying, oh, I should, but I can't, or I feel bad, this is saying that if you don't do it, and this is just in my experience, when I see Two of Swords in a tarot reading, it's like, hey, look, if you don't take this step, the universe is going to take it for you. So if you don't do what needs to be done, you might end up with a Tower moment. I see the Two of Spades come up, or Two of Swords come up before the Tower. Like it's like a warning, like a precursor. Like, look, you know, it doesn't have to happen, but if you don't take action, there will be a Tower moment, right? So you need to make a decision, and you need to part with something that's affecting you negatively. You need to start making plans to get out of a situation that's affecting you negatively. You need to start taking the steps. For those of you that you're already taking the steps, Two of Swords says that you might be allowing fear to blind you or not look at solutions which could come in very, very quickly. But you might be telling yourself that it's not possible or there's no way to do it. So there may still be some limited thinking. Okay, there could be something that you're not seeing or something that you're missing as you're working towards your plans and your ideas. And so for that case, you know, it's really always a great thing to ask your angels and guides to step in and help. You know, help me to see what I'm not seeing. Help me to see any signs or messages you've been trying to relay to me. You know, thank you for helping me see all that I need to see at this time. Okay, that can be very helpful. Let's go ahead and see what your money manifesting affirmation is. And as always, my darlings, I encourage you to watch your moon sign and your rising sign videos. Some weeks also resonate with you more. They may add little extra tidbits of information that can be very helpful to you. So check those out as well. All right, so the card here is ambition. All right. I love this picture. I love it, love it, love it. I invite you to look at the card and see what's jumping out at you, what you're seeing, what it's making you think of, what the symbolisms and the colors say to you. I think that's a really amazing way of taking a general reading and making it a little bit more personal to your energy and connecting with your own guides. What's jumping out at me, the first thing that's jumping out at me actually is that big leaf here towards the corner where my nail's at. And that makes me think immediately of turning over a new leaf. Okay, so I do feel, Scorpio, that is really resonating with that midweek message of some addictive behavior you're putting an end to, or a toxic relationship, or a codependent relationship you're putting an end to. And when I say a relationship, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be family, it could be a work situation, but turning over a new leaf, getting a fresh start. You know, and having the sense of ambition and zeal where like you're moving on to better things. Whatever it is you might be leaving behind, or however scary some of these steps might be because they leave you feeling vulnerable, they're leading you on to better things. And I do feel that a lot of you Scorpios are going to be able to manifest this sense of ambition. I think already naturally it's coming up in you, and this is just a manifestation to encourage or to speed along what already exists within you at this time. Obviously, you know, we see this man here on this horse. He's charging ahead. For those of you who don't know, this, and I sound like such a card nerd right now, but the person who created this card deck is Amy Zerner. And I happen to know, because I really love her work and I have a few of her card decks, this same drawing this same guy here on this horse happens to be the Chariot in her Enchanted Tarot deck. So I already know, right, that I'm kind of cheating because I kind of have an inside glimpse into her brain. I know that this is supposed to be the Chariot. Okay? And what did I tell you in the beginning of the reading? I said, those of you who are afraid, keep in mind that once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. That's exactly what the Chariot card is about. So this is very similar to the Chariot card. You need to make up your mind. As soon as you make up your mind, as soon as you set your eyes on a specific spot, your guides are going to help you get there. Right? You just make the decision and your guides are going to help you get there. All right, let's look at the affirmation here. I am ambitious and do not procrastinate or waste time being negative. All right. So this is a really great affirmation. Really great affirmation for you all. I do want to say something about the wording of the affirmation because I have a feeling somebody's already in the comments, already typing it right now. Some of these wordings can be deemed as negative. Like somebody says, oh, I don't want to say waste time being negative. That sounds negative. I want to say that, and I don't want to say I do not procrastinate. That sounds negative. But when you do affirmation super, super positive, where you're like, you know, and if you want to change the wording, feel free to do so. Make your own affirmation. But if you say, I always make the right decisions and I'm full of courage. There's some people, they can't say that affirmation because like, well, wait a minute though, but I am scared and I'm not always courageous and I don't trust my decisions. So sometimes to word an affirmation this way, it's like you're not in resistance. You're not resistance of the fear. You're not in resistance of what you might deem to be negative. And that can make it more powerful. That's just my opinion. That's why like I really like this deck, and I feel like it's real. I feel like it's real for real people, right? Because we're not all sunshine and butterfly and rainbows all the time, right? But do with it what you will. If you want to change the wording, my darlings, feel free to do so. Watch the channeled messages for December. Watch the love readings for December. January should be up soon. And don't forget to check out your 2020 forecasts. Those are starting to pop up. Keep an eye out for those. Private readings also are going to be up soon. If not already, by the time you're watching this, they should be up soon. So stay tuned for that announcement as well. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Have a fabulous week, Scorpio.